butterflies are free, and so are we.
Hi friends, today I'm wearing a 70s shirt. My wife brought this out from her wardrobe and wanted me to wear for this special day, because the 70s remind us of individual freedom, and there is something that my wife has been doing for the last 5-6 years is raising butterflies, especially monarch butterflies, and we wanted to do a short video on those. You can see around me, if you haven't noticed, there is one here, one there, and if you start looking closely, you will see probably at least 50 to 100, can't even count how many caterpillars and how many chrysalis are hanging in this tree, on this tree. So this happens to be a special tree. It's a giant milkweed tree, and it's a host for monarch butterflies. Many people tell that always plant native milkweed as much as possible, but the native milkweeds are very small in size, and the leaves are not enough for all the caterpillars that we have. So last 5-6 years, a lot of experience in having this, but again, once you plant a tree that the monarch butterflies like, year after year they have new batches coming and they keep on coming back to the same tree. So we basically don't have to do much, but there are problems, like there are some wasps that are pests that lay eggs on these caterpillars that we have to be careful about. Sometimes geckos climb up the tree and eat smaller caterpillars that also we need to be careful about. And also there is a pest, I think it's a protozoa, it's called OE. When the mature butterfly comes to lay eggs on the leaves, it kind of carries the pest on its wings, and when it comes to the leaf, the pest lay on the leaf, and when the larvae, when the caterpillar eats that leaf, it gets that virus in it. And the virus, what happens is the caterpillar will not die because of that, but when it becomes a chrysalis, many times it hatches into a deformed butterfly, and we call it, okay, the larvae already had OE in it. What can we do about it? Many people tell that you have to trim your milkweed so that it doesn't have that, it doesn't pass along from generation to the next generation of butterflies. Some year nothing happens, and some year there are some diseases, some eaten by geckos, but we have so many monarchs that we don't have to worry that couple of caterpillars don't make it to the butterfly. Usually 80-90% of them will become butterflies. So this is what we've been doing, and we don't see butterflies, but I think they already did their work. The whole tree is bare right now, all the leaves are gone. It's all trimmed by the caterpillars, so we don't do the trimming. And we are not control freak people. I know we could do this indoors with a big dome and in a controlled environment where you won't allow any geckos or any of these wasps or any OE to come in, but we're doing it for the fun of it, and so that the garden itself becomes alive with bees, butterflies, and natural environment. And we want to be natural and not do anything with it, and it's worked. We could have freaked out the first 2 years thinking, oh, it's like, okay, it will decimate the whole tree, but the tree is doing okay, the butterflies are doing fine, the caterpillars are doing fine, and it looks like everyone is happy with this setting. This tree grows very well from cuttings, so if you want to help the butterflies all around your neighborhood, so just give a small cutting, put it in a water or some container, it will root, and then give it to the neighbor. Our neighbor was excited to see so many butterflies, so she wanted one, and now she's growing butterflies as well. Give to neighbor, around, so the whole neighborhood will be full of butterflies. Also make sure that they don't spray against bees and butterflies, because if you have a neighborhood that comes, those companies, those landscape companies who come and spray your yard, then they are going to kill everything, the eggs, the bees, the butterfly eggs, the larvae, everything will be killed. So if your neighborhood is organic, and then I think it's a good idea to spread it around the neighborhood. I hope you get inspired by this. Seeing butterfly flutter around your flowers and your trees and your garden really is a beautiful sight. And it doesn't take much, a little bit of sacrifice. There will be some poop. So plant it not on the walkway, a little far away. This was planted here because we found out that it doesn't like too much water logging. It likes kind of a dry environment, dry soil. It does well in such conditions. So we planted here because it was under our where water didn't collect, and it was in a dry area. So it's kind of in front of our front door, and it was a coincidence that we recently found out when a couple of friends from India came to buy some of the plants that we had, and they looked at this tree from far away and they called the name. I forgot the name. It's something it's called in South India, and it turns out that this tree is a tree of Shiva. It's one of the three main deities in Indian, one of the Indian gods who is a protector as well, destroyer and protector. So in India they plant these trees in front of their front door as a protection against harmful forces of the universe. So we were lucky, and it was kind of a coincidence that it happened to be in front of our door, and it's also in front of our Buddha garden, our pond, which kind of reminds of us of the Buddhist teachings, which say that you have to shed the old to become new. Same with Jesus, I think, when he says you have to be born again to enter the kingdom of heaven. So same here, when the butterfly turns into a caterpillar, becomes a cocoon, it's being born again into a butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't think that it will ever fly into the air, but someday it will, and for that it has to go into the cocoon and it has to get out of the cocoon. So the caterpillar is dying when it is cocooning itself, in a way that it will never become a caterpillar again. But with that death, it is transforming into something more beautiful, something that can fly. And same with us as well. If we cannot get rid of our old ideas, our old conditionings, our old life, our old attachments, our hoardings within and without, then we will never be able to be light enough to enjoy life, to fly out like the butterflies do. So if you want to have a happy life, then you have to constantly keep yourself fresh, keep yourself anew, and keep yourself in the present moment and shed the old, the past. So hopefully I didn't talk too much about the philosophical part. This was about the butterflies, and whatever the philosophy, they are a beautiful sight. And we will take you to our butterfly garden. Maybe we will be able to see some butterflies there.
Butterflies are free, and so are we.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I knew the day you met me, I could love you. You let me, though you touched my cheek and said how easy you'd forget me, you said. Butterflies are